Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Mary and I give you guys an extra warm welcome. I would love it if you grabbed a snack, stayed for a while and click the subscribe button. I would love to have you. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you more than you know. So as you can tell by the title of the video, it's all about Miss Mother Pat today. I'm actually more excited than I thought I was going to be. Not sure why, but I am. So if you want to know what I think about the new mini eyeshadow palette that Pat McGrath came out with, the duo blush and the highlighter shade that I purchased, then just go ahead and keep on watching. All right guys, so as you can tell, my base is already down. I have bronzer, I just need blush in my eyes and highlighter and we're good to go. Oh, and lips, of course. All right, so the first product we're gonna talk about, and I'm just going to pull them out as I am about to apply them, is the Pat McGrath's mini eyeshadow palette, Midnight Voyage. So this retails for $29. It has 6 shades and each pan weighs 0.10 grams, which is a little bit. You see this little thing? It's tiny. And it's basically a mini mirrored eyeshadow compact inspired by Pat's most loved shades and textures. So let's go ahead and open her up. This is how she came. I purchased this through Sephora. I think it's available on Pat McGrath now. Here she is. I do enjoy the purple and the gold. I think it's pretty cute. Here's what the back looks like. It has a 12-month, no, just kidding, 18-month shelf life, and it looks like it was made in Italia. So this is small. Here is one of the blush compacts. So it's a tiny bit smaller than the blush compact. It's not magnetic. It is a clip-on. It does have a mirror, and here are the shades. So on my Instagram, I do have a reel, and I kind of compared the sizes of the pans to the mini holiday palettes from NARS, and they are just a tiny bit bigger than those. Okay, before I start on an eye look, I just wanted to show you some swatches from the original Pat McGrath Mothership palettes. So if you are a Pat McGrath collector, you probably don't really need this little mini palette. There's only one new shade in the palette, and it's this one right here. All of the other shades are existing shades from Mothership palettes, which I have swatched right here. So we're going to swatch this little pan right next to the swatches from the Mothership palettes, and then right at the bottom we'll swatch the new shade. So this first one right here, Skin Show Divine Glow. I'm swatching this small little palette. Okay, and I'd say it looks pretty much the same. All right, the second shade, Entrapment, so the brown one. Okay, they look just about the same, which is good. All right, and the third shade is the new shade, so we're gonna skip that and go to, just kidding, this dark fourth shade right here, which is Extreme Aubergine. And these shades and this one are in the Bronze Seduction palette. All 3 of those shades are in that palette. Okay, so they look pretty much the same. And this shade right here, which is Eleganza, and it is in the Divine Rose 2. Okay, looks pretty much the same. And last but not least, this shade right here, which is Night Creature. And this one is part of the Subversive palette, which is actually a new palette in my collection. I had not swatched it, so I swatched it for the first time here. So those shades look pretty much like the same shades. All right, let's go ahead and swatch this new shade. It looks very beautiful. It's a like a bronzy orange shade. Nothing super special, really. I do like the way that they laid out the palette where the warm tones are at the top and the cool tones are at the bottom, in case you have issues creating an eye look, but it's only 6 shades, so. But we are going to start. M441, and I'm dipping into the brown shade. I think I'm going to use this as my transition shade. They all felt absolutely beautiful. No difference in texture than the actual Mothership palettes. Mine aren't that old. My very first Mothership palette was the Divine Rose 2, and I purchased that about 6 or 7 months after its actual release. So I want to say, what, almost 2 years? My first Mothership palette is almost 2 years, and every other Mothership palette I purchased after that. So it's not like old or dried out or anything. All right, quality feels the same. Now we're going to jump into this shade right here. This is a Sigma Soft Blend 10, and I'm going to lightly dip into it. I don't know if I want too much of this shade. And this is gonna go in the outer corner and in the crease. You best believe that I am mixing cool tones with warm tones, because you totally can. I am going to bring some of it on the lower lash line, about halfway in. All right, now I'm dipping into this shade right here. I have to use it because I've never used this shade since that palette is brand new in my collection and I haven't even touched it. I have to create an eye look with it. This is gonna go right here in the outer corner, right next to that dark shade. It's a beautiful color, gorgeous. Now we're going to dip into the new shade. I'm going to use my index finger with that. Right on the inner corner. I like to press first and then swipe. All right, for the lower lash line, I'm going to dip into this shade. I'm going to use my pinky because this is going to go in the lower inner corner of my lower lash line right here. It's only gonna go about halfway in. All right, now for the inner corner, I'm going to jump into that shade right there. This is a reference number 13. I'm going to see if it picks any of this up. I think it will. Oh yeah. All right, so I will be back with mascara and we can go into the blushes and the highlighter. Okay, now we're going to jump into blush. I'm trying to hurry up because it's later in the day and I'm trying to use as much daylight as I can. Here is what the unicorn looks like for the new blush. I'm pretty sure it's the same as the older one. I don't really keep the unicorns. Okay, so this was also made in Italy and it has an 18-month shelf life. So it is pretty much the same as the old blushes. I have here Desert Orchid, which is like a beautiful warm terracotta like tone. And the new shade that I purchased is, what is it? Venusian Sunrise. I picked this one because of the purple. I kind of just wanted to see what the purple was about, really. I honestly wasn't even sure if I was going to pick anything up. So as you can tell, the embossment, it's the same, size is the same. I checked the grams, they both have 0.34 grams. The only difference is that the older blush retails for $39 and the new blush retails for $44. So I'm not 100% sure that's inflation or the fact that you're actually getting 2 different shades in the duo blush. Let's say it's both. Okay, so here are the 3 blushes that I currently own in the older release where it's just the one shade. Up top is Desert Orchid, this is Nude Venus, and at the bottom is Nymphet. So I kind of just wanted to swatch them and see if, I mean, the purple won't be. I don't think either of these shades, but here, let's swatch the pink side of this blush. Feels the same, honestly. No difference in formula. Okay, so I think it's definitely more of like a Barbie pink kind of versus this Nymphette. I feel like it has a tiny bit of purple in there. So maybe if you mix these together, it'll create like the Nymphette. All right, now let's go ahead and swatch the purple side. So it doesn't look super purple, you know? All right, so I did bring my favorite blush brush. You guys already know the Morphe and Ariel A22. And I think what I'm going to do is do a little bit of a ombre where I do a color in the back and then one closer to the apples of my cheek. I'm going to go ahead and wipe it with my Sigma Switch. And then at my nose where I always put blush, I'll mix the two together and see what we get. I think I'm going to start with the purple side and put that in the back. There's definitely fallout more than I want to say the other ones. So maybe the formula is different. All right, and this is going to go in the back. Oh, that's pretty. I'm only dipping in the purple. And honestly, I feel like it's a very small area, so you would have to use a fairly small blush brush. So if you're someone who likes like a very fluffy blush brush, I don't know if you're gonna be able to use them separately. Okay, there's the purple. Let me go ahead and wipe it with my Sigma Switch. And now we're going to jump in to the pinky side and put that in the front. These are definitely getting a tiny bit more kick up, especially the purple side. So I can barely tell the difference, I feel like, between the two shades. Like if you were to look at me, could you tell that I have two different tones on my cheeks? I don't think you can. But I mean, they're performing beautifully, and I feel like the pink maybe has a little bit of radiance. Actually, they both do, right? Okay, so that's what the beautiful blush looks like. Honestly, you can't even really tell a difference between the front and the back. Like if you were to just look straight at me, I look like I have the blush all throughout my cheek. All right, so now I don't know if you could tell, see how it has a tiny bit of kick up right here, but on this side it doesn't. So I feel like the purple might be a tiny bit different in the formula as like the bubblegum. At least this swatched like a bubblegum pink. Okay, now I'm going to just dip into both. Yeah, see, you could see kick up. It's the purple. The purple is doing that. And I'm going to add this on my nose where I add my blush. Yeah, you can't really tell the difference between both shades separately. So I think for me, I'm just going to use like both shades together, like just dip my whole brush into it. There's no point of trying to like use the purple or just the pink because they look fairly similar, I feel like, right? Okay, and next is the highlighter. So I already own this formula. Golden Nectar is the shade that she came out with before the new release, and this is what it looks like. So it looks like a cool tone champagne-y kind of shade. So I already know the formula. I already enjoy the formula. The new highlighter, she came out with 4 new shades. The Skin Fetish Divine Glow highlighter. They retail for $48. I honestly don't remember how much I paid for the, what is it, Golden Nectar? Yeah, the Golden Nectar shade. I ordered Venus Nectar and mine actually came shattered. Not shattered completely, but it's broken. There it is. You can see it has all the residue. I already messaged them. Hopefully they get back to me soon. That's what it looks like. Because we're moving and I would hate for my shipment to be not here before we leave. So I can definitely see a difference in the shades. Oh crap. This one is a little bit more peachy tone, and this one is a little bit more, like I said, a cool tone champagne. I am going to use it just because, I mean, I have it here, so. Let me do a little swatch here. This is the new one. So as you could tell, it does have like a almost like a warm tone shift to it. Now let's go ahead and swatch the Golden Nectar. I'm glad it's not actually like gold because I don't like gold. Yeah, so they look completely different. So this is my Sonia G Mini Cheek, and I'm going to jump into Venus Nectar first. Hopefully I don't make too much of a mess. And that's gonna go on this side. I have a feeling I'm going to enjoy Venus Nectar more just because of the undertone. It almost looks like a peach, and I feel like that undertone goes so much better with my skin tone. It just blends more seamlessly versus looking icy, if that makes sense. I used the Divine Rose highlight earlier today, and I love it just because the undertone is so beautiful and it works well with my skin tone. All right, now we're going to jump in to the Golden Nectar, and I wiped my brush with the Sigma Switch. This formula is beautiful. It really is. I don't know yet which formula of Pat McGrath's highlighters is my favorite. Okay, I hope you can see the difference, how this one looks a little bit more golden icy versus this one. I feel like it just kind of melts into my skin. I hope you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, I feel like I enjoy the new shade I got, Venus Nectar, better, which sucks because it's broken. All right, guys, and here is what the final makeup look looks like. I decided not to put any lashes on and just do mascara. For the lips, I did go into Pat McGrath, one of her lip liners in Buff, and one of the new lipsticks that she came out with, Negligee is the name of that. All right, so I did forget to mention, for the blush duos, there's 8 different colorways, and for the highlighters, this is the older one because the new one's broken. There is 4 different shades, and they look like they are a good variety for different skin tones, both the blushes and the highlighters, which is awesome. And the fact that she came out with 4 highlights instead of just like one with a collection that are definitely inclusive. All right, so the main purpose of the video, honestly, is just to see if this little mini size palette from Pat McGrath is the same quality as her Mothership palettes, and it is. It truly is. You saw the swatches. They all swatched exactly the same as the shades in the Mothership palette. Now, you don't get one of these special shades, the Astro Blitz shades in the little mini one, but you do get to try out a variety of formulas. You get like the normal shimmer, which I feel is this one, and this one's more like a metallic, and then this one does have a tiny bit of sparkle, so it's like the hybrid where it has a tiny bit of glitter and almost works like a topper as well. So I do feel like she included a good amount of formulas in this little mini palette. So if you are someone that is on a budget, can't afford the $125 palettes that she offers, and also can't afford the $65 palettes that she offers, even the quads, those are what, like $56? But you can afford this one, you can at least try out her formula and see if you actually do love it. And then think about investing on a bigger Mothership palette. Now, if you are a Pat McGrath collector, you really don't need this, but I wanted to see how small it is. All right, and as far as the highlights and the duo blushes, for the highlighter, if you already tried the Golden Nectar, you already know the formula is amazing. And it's pretty much just adding more shade range to what you already had. If you own the older one, you honestly don't need a new one unless you don't really enjoy the shade. Okay, as far as the blushes, so I do feel like it's, you know, an interesting concept. It's definitely been done before, but for me personally, especially this shade that I got, Venusian Sunrise, you can't really tell the difference between the back shade and the front shade. Like, you can tell that this is purple and this is pink. At least I can't. But I'm a little underwhelmed, which sucks because this blush is more expensive than the original blushes that she came out with. I mean, I get it, like prices are going up and just everything. I get it. If you already have a good amount of the other blushes that she first released, I don't feel like you really need to pick up anything from the new launch. I know it's a blush duo. I get it. There's 2 shades. It looks pretty. I understand. I just don't feel like you really need it. I'm not disappointed in the performance that I know Pat McGrath always ends up giving us. All right, guys, well, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the comparisons, and I hope you enjoyed my honesty. I know some people don't like hearing, like, you don't need that. But I'm just being honest. I'm being honest and maybe trying to save you guys some coins. With that being said, if you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you gave it a big thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it, and you would definitely help me out in the algorithm of hopefully bringing some new and fresh eyes to my channel. And if you haven't done so already, I would love it if you joined my small YouTube family by clicking the subscribe button. I would love to have you. All right, guys, I will see you on the next video. Bye.